I guess I'll talk a little bit about about creating a successful online course a bit today. So today's gonna be a little bit more of a different vlog. I feel like it's gonna be different. Hopefully it's received different, or the story I put together in post is different. So generally the first thing I do when I wake up is I stretch. Wakes me the hell up. I think stretching is a great low cost of entry of doing something active / meditative, because I'm also focusing on my breathing. And then the first 4 hours of my day are generally working on personal stuff. So that's editing the vlog, editing a tutorial, and then that's like the only time I really have to edit like stuff like this. Once those 4 hours are up, it goes to handling client shit. So today is slightly different. We're gonna be doing. So I got an interview today with a company called Sense, and then I'm gonna be filming my client. How are you doing, dude? I've got a cough, but I'll live. Yeah. Let's handle that first. Like, I wanted to handle all the talking stuff ahead of time first. So we'll do the interview first, and we'll talk about the rules, the etiquette, and all that stuff, basketball attire. And then totally failed on my hand on recording the interview that I was supposed to do with Sense. After my second round of editing, I decided to take a quick power nap, which became an hour and a half nap. Which led to me being late to that meeting, but things went well anyways. I just wish I recorded that conversation. I feel like it was pretty productive, but I feel like because I woke up in a hurry, my brain was still scattered. But yeah, I gotta get ready for a shoot with Dez. We're gonna be filming a lot of his content for Udemy today for his online course, and actually, I guess I'll talk a little bit about creating a successful online course a bit today. Alright, so the first thing that I want to really clear up, this lighting isn't that good, maybe this is better. The first thing that I want to clear up when it comes to creating an online course is that this isn't a get-rich-quick scheme. From the conversations I've had, they think because they're, if you are an expert or something, or you know more than an average person, yeah, that does kind of give you a way to teach it. If you come from a place where you're just trying to get money quickly, it's going to show in your actions, and you're going to take shortcuts, and that's the results that you're going to get. People need to understand, and you need to understand, that creating an online course is a project. This is not something you create within a week. This is something that'll probably take weeks or even a few months to fully create, especially if you're intending on creating a really successful one. If you take your time to create a really kick-ass awesome course, then people are gonna love it. So I think that's the first thing to realize, that this is a project. It's not a get-rich-quick scheme. So once you're good with that, you can move on to the next step. Ooh. Okay, so I think the first step, in creating an online course is knowing your audience. Primarily, you want the thing that you're creating for your course. I'm putting on pants right now, guys. Your course needs to solve a problem. It's one thing to have an idea of what you want to do. It's another thing to actually have validation to know that people actually want this and that's actually going to help people. Essentially, any product comes from that. It comes from solving a problem that people like. Next thing you do is talk to these people. Find out what their biggest challenges are. Find out how much they're willing to pay for it. Find out what solutions they've tried to do, because in that you not just get info to create your course and how you can tailor it for them, because you start seeing patterns within things they say. You can also use those words verbatim of what they say and use it in the copy when it comes time to write the landing page, the email copy, the sales page, your video, your sales video. The answers that they're giving you help you create the copy when it comes time to sell. I can't stress enough the value of actually talking to the end user you're trying to sell it to, especially if it's a space that you have no idea about. Yeah. Start flipping this screen around. around.
It was a one-way ticket, and literally, see, the universe works in such a mysterious way, right? Because you will ask the universe for something, and it will give it to you in return, but it won't package it exactly how it'll package it differently. So you keep evolving. So keep evolving, be bold, be brave, roll with the punches. You'll be better off for it. That way.
All right, so just finished filming with Dez right here, filming his Unity course and interviewing him. I'm a little under the weather, so that's why I'm having a hard time focusing. But I'm gonna get some food. Are you gonna nap? Are you gonna eat?
Dude, I was supposed to nap yesterday. It didn't happen, so I'm gonna hopefully make it happen today, because when you're running on like a few hours of sleep throughout the week, it's like great to do what you love to do, but you also gotta take care of your body, so.
Yeah.
Shazam.
You're just talking about sleep, so make sure you take care of your body. All right, and the next step, I think, in creating, marketing, and having a successful online course is having an audience to sell it to. I think that's why the first step is so important. Like, know who you're talking to, and if you actually talk to those people, you can get those leads. You get to collect their emails, their phone numbers, however you want to present it. You can do this through a number of different ways. You can pre-sell it, have a webinar, then present the potential course, see who's interested in buying like the beta version, and even same thing with your app. People sign up to test the beta. Or another way is start just building up your email list through sharing value, sharing tips and tricks that solve this problem, and then if people want to get more about it, sign into your email list. There's that way. Or another way is leverage the attention of someone else's audience, collaborate with an influencer, collaborate with a popular YouTuber, provide value to that person to get on their channel. So if you don't have an audience, either start building one or hijack the attention from someone else's through providing value, because you don't want to be a taker. You also want to be someone who provides value. For those of you who don't want to go through a whole launch sequence, one of the ways you can do that in terms of online courses, it's with Udemy. And in terms of online learning in general, there's a lot of people it's becoming more and more prominent, but Udemy is like the leader in that. It has like 10 million users. You can leverage their audience and their attention with your course. The price is there's a percentage that you have to give to them. So whereas if you did the launch yourself, going from building your email list, going through a launch sequence, and then selling it, you can get 100% of the profits, assuming that you're not working with affiliates or any joint ventures. Or you can leverage something like Udemy, where they already have a big audience. They can do all the marketing for you. All you got to do is do the product research, create the course, and then they do the marketing for you. Yeah, so that's the third tip, is make sure that you have an audience to sell it to. Either build your list or leverage someone else's. Right now, checking some of the Vision Paradox course content, see what needs to be uploaded, and rearranging the course outline. Actually be a lot more intentional for the students who come on board. So far in the steps in creating, marketing, promoting, and having pretty much an overall successful course, the steps we talked about is make sure the product that you're creating is actually solving a problem. Next is know who you're selling to. Next is actually have an audience. And then the next step is, obviously content creation. But what I think a lot of people get hung up on are small details. I think, just because I'm recording this on an SLR doesn't mean you have to get an SLR. And just because I have a boom mic doesn't mean you have to get a boom mic. Work with what you have. If this is all you can use to film, trust me, this is 10 times better than what I filmed with back in 2012 with my HTC. If you can work with a friend who has that equipment, or hire someone who has that equipment, if that's within your budget, go for that. But if you have to break the bank, or even go into debt to just hire a video crew or get an editor, I don't think that's a smart move at all, to have to get yourself into debt just to produce. Like I said, if you can afford it, go for it. If not, it would just make sense to work with what you've got, learn the skills, because then, you know, when it comes time to actually hire people who know how to edit, at least you'll have the understanding of how the editing process works, what you like, what you don't like. I think the most important thing above that is having great audio quality. So make sure that you have a way to capture good, decent audio. The quality audio just makes the experience of watching the video just much more enjoyable. So a couple other things to add when you're creating your courses: do your best to make everything super ridiculously actionable compared to, you know, an live workshop where you can give feedback, you can directly talk to someone and they do something immediately.
Make me believe it! Yes, yes, yes! Yeah!
An online course, it's pretty much someone on their own where they have to be accountable to themselves, and when it's someone trying to do something new for the first time, it can be intimidating for them, or they might not have any idea where to start, and if they feel lost right from the get-go, you're gonna get a confused student, and you're gonna get someone who might just get frustrated and might even leave you a bad review. So make sure your course is insanely actionable. Make sure, give them a place to start, give them an actual journey to follow. That way they actually get the end result that you're promising to deliver. Best way to do that is after you've done your research, you know, start with the end goal in mind. What's the thing that you want them to achieve by the end of this course, or by the end of the 6 weeks, 9 weeks, 12 weeks, or however long this course is going to be. Then go work backwards. What's the goal? The end goal is what they get. What's the step before the end goal? And what's the step before that? What's the step before that? And from there, you start filtering out what are the necessary lectures and exercises that they need to go through in order to be ready for the next step. And the last tip in creating your course is...
Maya! That's the keeping ignorant.
Well, the final thing when it comes to creating an online course is upkeep and where you're going to host it. So definitely,
Cheese!
you can use it on Udemy. So it's up to you where you're comfortable in regards to hosting your course. And once you figure out a place where you want to host it, the next thing you want to do, you definitely want to do, is upkeep. Make sure that you keep on constantly updating your course, making sure that, you know, the content is up to date, especially if you're teaching something like social media. That's changing always, or even fitness. There's a lot of new research coming out every single year. So make sure that you're constantly updating your content and keeping in touch with the students, because they're definitely going to have questions outside of your first pass at the course. Especially if it's your first pass, it's not going to be perfect the first time around. Use the feedback that you get from your first round of students to continue improving on your course. And depending on, you know, the sequence or how you launch your course, either just update it, or you can go, or when you do another launch sequence. So I think the important thing is that you get the feedback from your students, and keep in mind that this is never really like a one and done kind of thing. It's something that you're gonna have to keep updating, you know, at least once a year or once a month, like at minimum once a year. But if you can, once a month or once a quarter. That way, you're constantly you're constantly, you know, you're constantly making your course better for your students, because also there's gonna be other courses out there that are trying to outdo you. And you know, for me, I'm a competitor. You never know, your course might be doing well 1 second, and then someone else comes out with their course and then, you know.
Understand? In front of me.
Want to stand in front of me?
Yeah.
Okay.
On you again?
Okay, in a bit. All right.
Alright.
So.
So.
And also get testimonials from your students, so that way you can show social proof. If this is your first online course, then you don't really have testimonials or video testimonials. You know, social proof is a very powerful thing when it comes to selling, and it helps lessen the resistance and objections from other people when they see other people sharing the results from taking your course. However you execute it, the important thing is that you upkeep your course and you keep in contact with your students. So, alright, so all in all, I think, you know, those are some of the basic tips, I think, in creating, promoting, and marketing your course. I've created almost, I think, 7 or 8 courses. I'm currently working on 9 and 10, one for Vision Paradox and one with another client. So I'm aware of the process of creating a course, it can be a lot, especially if it's your first time. I hope these tips give you an idea of like what to expect, and not really make you scared of doing it, but for you to be aware of what's to come, because we can say yes in the middle of excitement, but it's another thing it's another thing when we're in the moment, when we are actually putting in the work. That's where we start discovering, oh, this is a lot more than we originally had signed up for. And me sharing you with these tips is giving you an awareness of what's to come. And everything I shared today is like really just like 10,000 foot like top level. There's a lot more details in the whole process, such as how do you create your surveys, copywriting, coming up with the branding for your course. There's a whole bunch of small details, but yeah, if you want me to go more into detail within all these steps in creating your course from scratch, let me know in the comments down below. Other than that, that's it. If you guys like this video, make sure you hit like, subscribe, share this with friends who you think might benefit from it, and make sure you hit the bell button so you guys make sure you hit the bell button so you guys are getting notifications of when new videos like this are coming out. Oh, my screen just turned on. What is this? Oh, milk chocolate pecan toffees. This is from Jordan's fundraiser, and those of you who helped out with Jordan's fundraiser, which are my friends mainly, thank you guys. So that's it. Thanks for watching this episode of Emeroy TV, Vision Paradox TV, wherever you're watching this, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.
Walking.